Here's why you should vehemently reject conspiracy theories. So conspiracy theories have an extremely idle approach to knowledge and also score very low in terms of the tools that we use to know things, to operate and cooperate in the world. So in terms of logic, when we think about the logical fallacies that it's guilty of, if it's causal fallacies like the post hoc fallacy or the Texas sharpshooter fallacy, in terms of cherry picking the causes, and the cognitive biases when we think of confirmation bias and belief bias that it also rests on, which is never optimal. And then when we think about probability as a tool, so using Bayes' theorem, which is posterior probability being equal to the likelihood and the prior data that we have on it divided by its evidence, so again attributable to this cherry picking that we see, which then would be the third tool that we use when we think about evidence. And then the fourth one, skepticism. People are never skeptical enough when they think about conspiracy theories. So what it does is it rests on impressionable minds and naive minds when we think about the relationship it has with that type of conspiratorial knowledge. And so I always say, and I do contend this, that there are two principal ingredients for conspiracy theories. The first one being possibility, and the second one being some type of burden of proof. Now, people might ask, well, what's wrong with using possibility as a tool for knowledge? And what's wrong with using the burden of proof? Well, first of all, if we use possibility as a principal tool for knowledge, then you'd probably end up with no partner, you'd end up with no money, or you'd probably end up dead. And then we think about the burden of proof. So again, the only delusion that you're allowed to have is a God delusion, and that's attributable to eschatological kind of vacancies that we have for philosophical thought. You know, you could say that. What they're trying to say is that now there's a burden of explanation, which I just don't think is fair when we think about logic. But that's the only delusion that you're allowed to have. And so that's why conspiracy theories should be, as I said, vehemently rejected.